So Jesus' message is in the Bible, right?
Of course, obviously.
So you notice you said that again. Now I'm gonna have to probably remind this because you said just now again that the Bible, obviously, you said obviously, of course, obviously, the Bible contains the message of Jesus. That's what you just said. So don't backtrack on that later. So since the Bible has Jesus's message, then we look at what Jesus taught in the Bible. We see that Jesus taught that he's the Son of God. We see that he taught that he's supposed to be crucified and that he's supposed to suffer and rise again on the third day. So that's the message of Jesus that we find in the Bible, right?
So nah. You can't say the whole Bible does that.
Oh,
so you just said,
man, I'm getting lost, man. I'm honestly getting lost. I don't know what your position is.
Hello, amazing viewers. Welcome to Religious Insight. In this amazing episode, Godlogic is engaging a Muslim who contradicts himself live. This guy is a professional backpedaler, and this video right here is a typical example of if your enemy is making a mistake, you don't interrupt him. Let's watch this video as he embarrasses himself.
Limbs is on the stage. All right. So how would you deal with this?
Is this on YouTube? Is this a YouTube video as well?
Yeah, I do.
YouTube. It's going on YouTube.
They're saying
Free
hi.
Palestine. Free Palestine. Listen, so I'd say Paul didn't corrupt the message, but he gave it a good go. He tried to. Let me elaborate. What I think your argument is going to be is that obviously the Quran is seen as a guardian over the message and etc. So you're going to say if it was being protected and supposed to be preserved, then why can it be corrupted?
Nope.
So I wouldn't say that it's
That's not what I'm concerned with at all.
okay. So I wouldn't say that it's the like God's message was actually corrupted, but what Paul did is he added to it, and
So
it was from Allah.
what message did he try to corrupt, or did he add to? What was that message?
So for instance, there was Jesus said to follow all of what the Pharisees teach and nothing of what they do. And then Paul said that you can eat anything, etc. So that's just one example.
Got you. So specifically, let's do it one at a time. So specifically, the message that Paul tried to corrupt, we can find it in what Matthew wrote.
Say that again.
So the message that you said that Paul tried to corrupt and add to, we can find that message of Jesus in Matthew's writing.
So the general way of looking at this is if something, if you can cross-reference it with the Quran and the Quran agrees, then we know that it's from Allah. Right?
Okay. So the Quran agrees to do everything the Pharisees say.
Listen, no, I didn't say that.
Oh,
I didn't say that.
Oh, that's what you quoted. So
that's what you said. That's what you said, Mr. Logic.
You said
that's not what I said.
You said that.
I didn't.
So look, for example, I asked you, what is the message that Paul tried to corrupt and add to? The first thing you did was quote Matthew 23, where Jesus says to listen to all the Pharisees, what all the Pharisees say, just not what they do. And then you alluded hold on a second. And then you alluded to that being, teaching the law and stuff. So yeah. I'm asking you, so when you give me that answer, that implies that you're saying that the message of Jesus can be found in what Matthew wrote. So is that correct?
The message that Jesus, as in within Matthew, there'll be some truths of what Jesus had taught. Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking, is the message of Jesus in what Matthew wrote? Because that's where you went.
Yeah, so there are obviously truths in the Bible.
Not if there's truths. So my question isn't, are there truths in the Bible or are there not? That's not my question. My question is very, very clear. Is the message of Jesus found in what Matthew wrote?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
awesome. And one example of what Jesus taught, the message of Jesus, is in Matthew 23, where he mentions to listen to what the Pharisees say, not as they do. Correct?
No, it says do everything they say.
So is that so that's a teaching, that's part of the message of Jesus. Is that correct?
That's a teaching. So just to be clear, Paul isn't in the Quran. This is an internal critique of the Bible, just to let you know. So you can't conflate the two here.
Well,
if we're doing an internal critique of the Bible, right?
It's not an internal critique of the Bible.
Okay, so is Paul found anywhere else other than the Bible?
Yeah, he's found in your Islamic scholars and their sources. Yeah, he's found. He's found in Ibn Ashaq.
So where is he? Where is he? Like an authority in the Quran?
According to Ibn Ashaq, it says that Paul is a messenger that Jesus sent along with the other disciples.
Who said that? He said that. He said that Paul's a messenger of
Jesus,
of God, or of Jesus.
Yeah, of God. You got it right.
A messenger of Jesus.
Yep.
And he's a Muslim.
Yeah, Ibn Ashaq. You never heard of him?
That sounds a bit kuffar to me. I don't know how so a man can be a messenger of a man.
Well, if a man sends people with his message, they're his messengers, right?
Well, no, I don't believe that. You'd have to get me that evidence. You're saying he's a Muslim scholar. You said
Ibn Ashaq. Yes, Ibn Ashaq wrote the earliest biography on Muhammad's life. The life of the Prophet, the life of Prophet Muhammad.
Well, I can flat out say that that sounds very Shia to me.
He's a Sunni. He's a Sunni.
A man can't be a messenger of a man. That's as well as Jesus was not on earth when Paul said that he saw him, right?
Well, that's according to the biblical standard, but according to what Ibn Ashaq says and demonstrates is that Paul, and he's apparently quoting Muhammad, by the way, but that Paul is a messenger of Jesus that Jesus sent. He's one of the people Jesus sent out to spread his message.
Nah, I don't hold to that. I don't know where you've got that from.
I got it from the earliest source on Muhammad's life, which is Ibn Ashaq. Ibn Ashaq's biography of the Prophet.
I don't believe that. You have to show me that, mate.
I will. I'll show you it. In the meantime, in regards to Jesus's message, you quoted. I know. I'm gonna show you that in a second. I promise you, I'm gonna show you in a second. But first, I want to make sure we solidify the first point. That when you quoted Matthew 23, when I asked you what is the message of Jesus, and you quoted Matthew 23 where Jesus says, do everything that the Pharisees say, but don't do as they do, that is part of the message of Jesus. Is that correct?
According to the Bible, yeah. If we're doing an internal critique. So we're doing an internal...
I'll ask it again, brother, because it sounds like you're backtracking on your words again. Because I asked you, what is the message that Paul tried to add to or corrupt? And you quoted Matthew 23. So that leads me to believe that you're pointing to that as part of Jesus's message. Correct?
According to the Bible, if we're doing an internal critique.
Is that correct, though? Is that Jesus' message?
So according to the Bible, yes, it is Jesus' message, yeah.
So is that objective, or like, is that a fact? Is the Bible correct when it's saying that this is part of Jesus' message? So
what I'm saying is, you're asking what message did Paul corrupt, right?
Yes.
And what I'm answering is, there's teachings within the Bible that Jesus said, according to the Bible, and then Paul goes against that.
Are those Jesus' actual teachings?
Okay, so yes, we're doing an internal critique.
So yes, those are Jesus' actual teachings. So you believe that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John contain the actual real teachings of Jesus, right?
I think you're trying to straw man my position.
Straw man or repeat your words. All I'm doing is repeating.
Did I say according to the Bible, or did I say that's what I believe?
Well, yeah, you said, you believe that according to the Bible. So you're saying the Bible actually contains his message.
I believe according to the Bible, Jesus' message.
So Jesus' message is in the Bible, right?
Of course, obviously.
So you notice you said that again. Now I'm gonna have to probably remind this, because you said just now again that the Bible, obviously, the Bible contains the message of Jesus. That's what you just said. So don't backtrack on that later. So since the Bible has Jesus's message, then we look at what Jesus taught in the Bible. We see that Jesus taught that he's the Son of God. We see that he taught that he's supposed to be crucified and that he's supposed to suffer and rise again on the third day. So that's the message of Jesus that we find in the Bible, right?
So nah. You can't say the whole Bible does that.
Oh,
so you just said,
man, I'm getting lost, man. I'm honestly getting lost. I don't know what your position is.
All right, let me explain. Yeah. So some of the Bible I think it's like the Synoptic Gospels or whatever they're called, right? They depict Jesus as a messenger of God, a prophet, someone who believes in one God, a monotheist. And then there's other books that Paul wrote that have very high Christology. I think also John as well.
Can I read you some? Can I read you something from the Synoptics?
And what I'm saying, I wish you'd let me land my point. Maybe you'd understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. You're backtracking.
And basically, the teachings of Jesus that are found in the earliest Gospels,
like Matthew and Mark and Luke.
Paul
John
goes against those things.
Okay.
So, for instance, like I'll give you.
Hold on.
Like,
I wanted to read something from the Synoptics since you're appealing to the Synoptics.
Like Jesus being sent to the.
Hey, Limbs. Hello, Limbs. Don't go in bot mode.
You know you're interrupting.
Don't go in robot mode. Don't go in robot mode. I want to quote you something from the Synoptic Gospels. Here it is. This is what Jesus says in the Synoptics. This is Matthew chapter 11. This is verse number 27. He says, all things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Does that sound like low or high Christology to you?
Low Christology.
All right, so it's low Christology for Jesus to say that everything that the Father owns, he owns as well. That's low Christology?
Yeah. So the problem that you have here is that it was given to him. Now, can the Most High God have any authority given to him?
Yes,
no.
yes, if he humbles himself. You're not answering the question, Limbs.
Hold on.
You're not answering the question, Limbs.
Listen, I'm answering directly. You said, is it high Christology or low Christology? It's literally very low Christology, right?
Okay, so basically a creature. So it's low Christology to believe that somebody else other than the Father owns all things. Everything that's in existence, he owns.
So if you read the verse again, it says,
all things have been handed over to me by my Father. So does the Son own everything the Father owns according to this?
So the question is, you're saying Jesus is God, right?
Does the Son own everything the Father owns according to this?
According to this, he owns everything, but it was given to him.
No worries. So everything, the universe, all of creation, prophets, demons, everything belongs to the Son the same way it belongs to the Father, right?
No, not the same way.
Really? So it says, all things have been handed over to me by my Father. So does Jesus also own all things?
No, but the problem is, you said he owns
Does
all
Jesus
things
also own all things like the Father does?
Hey, logic. Let me answer.
All right.
How about
straight answer?
How about let me answer?
Straight answer then.
How about let me answer?
Go ahead. Don't waffle.
Right? So he owns all things, but not in the same way as the Father.
Okay.
Because
if you own all things, if the Father owns all things and the Son owns all things, but he doesn't own it just like the Father. What are you talking about?
No.
How good can you be?
Logic.
You're too dishonest. What is this?
Logic. If you let me finish, you would have understood my point, mate. All right, but you jumped in, didn't you?
Do you believe that a creature can own everything Allah owns?
No.
So would this be blasphemy?
This is in the Bible, and yeah, it is blasphemy. Yeah.
Why is it blasphemy?
Because you're saying that you're basically saying there's a partner with God.
So according to the Synoptic Gospels, Jesus is a partner, makes himself a partner with the Father?
Yeah.
Is that low or high Christology?
So it's low Christology, the reason being. So if you let me finish, and I think you get the thing is, Logic, I think you actually get my point. Right? You're purposely cutting in right at the end where I'm saying my point, right? So yes, according to this, he owns all things, but the problem is he was given it by something else.
You know, Paul says the same thing.
Answer this question. Answer this question.
No, you didn't answer
this question. Is the Father
you need to answer.
Given authority?
You need to answer.
Is the Father given authority by
I'll
anybody?
answer this. Yeah, so the answer to that is no, because the Father is not the one who humbles himself. The Son humbled himself. So because the Son set aside his divine privileges for a time and humbled himself, he can then be exalted back to that status when he's done with his mission, or so on and so forth. So that is why Jesus can say that all things have been handed over to me by my Father, because he's humbled himself, he came down, and then is being elevated back up. However, this is the issue with you, Limbs. According to you, that's exactly what it says. That's exactly what it says. So according to you, hold on, Limbs, now you're cutting me off. According to you, Limbs, Jesus making himself a partner with the Father is blasphemous. However, it's low Christology. I don't understand how there can be blasphemy.
Can you define Christology for me?
Christology is the study of Christ in his person. So you can either have a high view of Christ, meaning that he's equal with the Father or a partner with the Father or divine in some way, or you can have a low view of Christ, or you can have a low view of Christ where he's just a mere good prophet, a mere man. So which is this teaching? Is this teaching that Jesus is just a mere man, a mere son? A mere man, a mere prophet, a mere messenger of God? Or is he a partner with the Father? Which one is it teaching?
I would say it's neither high or low. And I know I said it is.
You said it's neither high or low?
But I did, in all honesty, Logic, right? When you defined it then, you taught me something then. Low Christology means that he's a mere man. You're saying,
yeah, low Christology is that he's not divine. It's that he is just a mere messenger.
He's just a mere messenger, yep. Right? So I wouldn't say it's is as low as it could be, but I definitely wouldn't say it's high. The reason being is because your definition of it being high was that he's equal to the Father, and if he's equal to the Father, right, then nothing has to be given to him because he's already got it. Right, yeah, he's the highest authority. Doesn't need anything given to him. Okay, right? Just like the Father doesn't have anything given.
You agree that this is blasphemous, right, Limbs?
You inserted that he humbled himself and he was being brought back.
Limbs, you agree that this is blasphemous, right? I'm asking you last time. You agree this is blasphemous?
What?
You said what?
What's blasphemous? As in him owning everything.
Yeah. Is this blasphemous?
So when you say him owning everything, you mean he owns the prophets, as in he's been given like
all things, bro? Is that all things? Is that difficult to know? To understand?
Yeah. That goes against everything I believe. Yeah.
Exactly. So going against everything you believe, however, this is where you said I can find the message of Jesus. In the synoptic gospels, in Matthew, especially earlier you said, and you know this was before we started the stream, but earlier you said in specifically the Q gospel, the theoretical gospel that says that Matthew and Mark's sayings of Jesus that they record that Mark doesn't, that is the Q gospel, and that's the message of Jesus. That's the Injil. So according to what you say,
I didn't say it was the verbatim message of Jesus. I said it was the closest thing to it was.
Take care. You're a liar. You're an absolute liar. I can't do this. If you're gonna lie, like you can't have a conversation with a liar. If you're gonna continue to just lie on what you say, we can't talk. Take care of yourself, man. Goodness gracious. Right in the beginning of this live, you literally said you're going to say the Injil is Q source. That's what you said. And then I had to explain to you what Q source was. And you was like, okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Now you're lying. Now you're saying you never said that. Like, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, Limbs.
Okay, welcome back, guys. That was very amazing. Let us know your thoughts, what you learned in the comment section. The Dawa script only takes them so far, and when refuted, they started doing the Muslim shuffle and going into robot mode. There is a level other people's knowledge will take you, and it will abandon you there. It takes what you have studied on your own to sustain you further. But because they are not willing to make this simple research for themselves, they will keep on embarrassing themselves and also their religion. Paul is one of the greatest converts to Christianity. To go from wanting to unalive Christians to becoming an apostle is a big miracle. Jesus performed that miracle. If you read about how Paul became a convert, you will understand Paul is working on behalf of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's authority. And also the disciples affirmed Paul's ministry. The only problem Muslims have with Paul is that he saw ahead and rat out Muhammad as the Antichrist that will be coming with a different message than what the apostles have already preached about Jesus. Muslims trying to explain Christians' teaching, but they cannot explain their own teachings and just say, I am not a scholar. But every Muslim is a Christian scholar. You have not removed the speck in your own eyes, but you believe you can see clearly to remove the log in another man's eyes. You first remove the speck in your own eyes before you can be able to see clearly to remove the log from another man's eyes. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Islam stand no chance against the truth, not now and not forever. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share this video, subscribe. We'd love to see you in the next episode.